welcome to Anything Thursday. Now, as you could tell by the title, some of you guys are already going to be triggered by this, but I am talking about nursery rhymes and how people are so easily offended by these nursery rhymes. They have been around for years, decades, centuries, whatever. And yet, there's people and this generation are so pissed off and offended by these nursery rhymes. They don't stop and think where these nursery rhymes came from or what they're actually about. They just assume by the title and the nursery rhyme itself that, it's bad. And it's pissed off so many people. They've had to change certain things about the nursery rhymes, like certain words. They got rid of some nursery rhymes and that. But in this video, I'm going to just talk about 3 nursery rhymes. I don't know why I did 4. 3 nursery rhymes. And the first one is going to be 3 blind mice. Now, you're probably thinking in the comments, oh my god, you can't talk about blind people, you can't make fun of them, and you can't make fun of mice. It's not about blind people, it's not about mice. It is about 3 Protestants in 1609. These 3 Protestants tried to plot against the Queen. Now, not our Queen, but Queen Mary, who was also known as Bloody Mary. Now, the nursery rhyme, Mary, Mary, quite contrary, is based on her and how she beheaded and all this lot. A lot of Protestants and Christians and all this lot palaver. Anyway, so these 3 Protestants tried, or they succeeded to plot against the Queen. She found out, or whatever, and she burnt them at the stake. Now, here's the interesting bit. Now, it's called 3 Blind Mice. Now, there's some records and all this sorts who claimed that she blinded these 3 Protestants and dismembered them. So the whole, 3 blind mice, see how they run, and about the farmer's wife cutting off their tail with a carving knife, dismembered, and they were blind, and they were burnt to the stake. So that's 3 blind mice. That's the history behind it and that. Now, you guys are triggered. I can tell. You guys are triggered. You're all offended. Like, that's impossible. It's not true. Now, Google this. You can Google it anywhere. And that's what I want you guys to do. Instead of assuming that this nursery rhyme is disgusting and it's bad and it's offensive, look upon your English history. There's a lot of history in nursery rhymes. There's American history in nursery rhymes. There is a lot of British, because that's where all these nursery rhymes come from. England. Now, how I Googled this, and you should Google it too, it's called educate.com. Educate yourself, go on educate.com, and they tell you 3 other nursery rhymes and the backstory on it. So before you get all just before I go on to the next video, as you can tell, I'm in different clothes. I filmed that earlier while Athena was having dinner, and now she's in bed. The next one is Bar Bar Black Sheep. Now everyone knows the nursery rhyme, Bar Bar Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. 1 for the master, 1 for the dame, 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Now, that nursery rhyme ain't about slavery. For years, people have been saying that Bar Bar Black Sheep is about slavery. Now, in England, especially in the 16th century, we traded wool. Hence, why the whole Baba black sheep is coming around. So, in the economics, we traded wool, we sold wool, because you could basically make it into cloth. And the final lines of "A none for the little boy who cries down for the lane," that was the original ending. But obviously it's not very cheerful, so instead of the little boy who cried down the lane, it was for the little boy who lived down the lane. Now, the whole wool trade was huge, like a huge business, and it was a really big demand, especially for cloth, so they can make clothing and all this lot. And to all the common peasant folks who had lands, but also huge land owners, so like really posh, fancy, rich people, they raised sheep to help this economic growth and that. However, after the Crusades in 1272, King Edward I created new taxes on the wool trade, which is believed that the wool tax was to pay for his military ventures. I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. Ventures. And it's to believe that it's the background to the nursery rhyme. 1/3 of the price for each bag or sack was sold. So one for the master, which was the king, one for the dame, which was the church or the monasteries, and none to the poor shepherd boys, which was the boy who cries down the lane, who was tired and tender from protecting the flock. Now, you better get a better understanding, as I don't know why the sheeps were black. I don't know why it was called Baba Black Sheep. But I guess it was just sounded better for the rhyme, I guess. Which now it's blah blah rainbow sheep, but you've never seen a rainbow sheep. You either get a white one or a black one. Blah blah white sheep. Doesn't sound whatsoever good, I guess. But however, the third and final one, if you're not triggered from that last one, with me saying blah blah black sheep, and I've put the wrong earphone in, so I don't know if you could even hear me. My earphones, see if you could hear me. So, for the third and final one, if you lasted this long, I'm proud of you. I haven't triggered you. You're not stupid enough to be triggered because you did research. Now, for people who are triggered and they're commenting down below saying that, oh, blah, 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 I don't care because I researched all of these and that, and I read documents and I watch documentaries about nursery rhymes. I go into depth. Same with the original. I love Disney films. Always have, always will. And the original stories are so much fucked up, but I love them so much. I love reading the original Cinderella and the original Little Mermaid and really nitpicking everything. But however, this one is sure going to trigger you. Now, this nursery rhyme, is about not giving consent. Now, that could mean many things. It could mean rape. It could also mean just innocent play. I'll let you think about this one. Comment down below. Now, if you don't know, or if you kind of guessed what it could be, the last nursery rhyme is Georgie Porgy. And the nursery rhyme goes, Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls, made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie Porgy ran away. Now, obviously, he didn't ask the girls for consent, but this is the actual story behind it, and it's quite interesting actually. So, Georgie Porgy refers to the English character, sorry, I can't pronounce words today, George Villiers. Now, I don't know if I've said his fucking name right. Obviously, Georgie's saying. But he was the Duke of Buckingham, and who was rumoured to be King James' lover. King James I's lover. Allegedly, we don't know. But there's no proof of this relationship. But it was evident that King James was very fond of him, of George. He was given a lot of money, he was given titles. Who wouldn't like that? I mean, I would love that. Getting given lots of money and titles. Hint, hint. But he was very good looking, was George. Very, very good looking. And it was well documented that he loved women. And it was to believe that George earned the wrath of several husbands whose wife he had sex with, who did not give consent anyway. So he basically raped these women. They didn't give consent. I can feel you're all getting triggered by this. And that's probably why the girls cried and why Georgie Porgy ran away when the boys came out to play. So, they were the three nursery rhymes. I hope I haven't triggered you, but I hope I have educated you guys, because who doesn't love a bit of education in their lives? I know I do. So, if you want to know more about the history behind the nursery rhymes, I will link down below in the description the 3 websites what I looked at. Obviously, educate.com is an actual website. I wasn't doing it for a joke, you know. But there was one called Historic UK and Vagabond. Vagabond, dark and disturbing origins of popular nursery rhymes. And thing is though, there's things to back them up, like Ring a Ring of Roses was about the plague, obviously. Mary, Mary Quite Contrary was about Mary, the first one, obviously, Bloody Mary and her shenanigans. Yeah, and I really want to do like some more dark and twisted things. I think I might do like Disney films, and that, so I might do Cinderella, I might do, you know, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, something like that. And I really, really hope you guys enjoy this. And then who knows, I might upload 3 videos. Monday Mac Week, Twisted Tuesdays, and Anything Thursdays. So it's up to you guys. I mean, I would love to do dark and twisted origins of stories and nursery rhymes again, because it made me realize how much I love like researching. It made me realize how much I love like researching like history stuff and where things originated and why we have nursery rhymes. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Wrong button.